Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, I invite you to join me on a journey that, just a few years ago, I never imagined possible. I want to share with you a personal, honest story, how I saved $100,000 in just 3 years. No, I didn't win the lottery, inherit a fortune, or land a six-figure salary. I'm an ordinary person, somewhere in the middle, not wealthy, but not struggling at rock bottom either. What made the difference for me was not luck, but the way I thought about and managed my money. This story isn't meant to boast, but to inspire, especially if you're finding it hard to get ahead financially or if saving seems like a distant dream. I hope something in my journey will spark your own transformation. Because if I can do it, so can you. My story of change began with a moment of real discomfort. One ordinary day, I sat down to check my bank account, and what I found there left me unsettled. Despite working hard year after year, my balance was nearly empty. Where was my money going? My salary arrived each month, but it felt like water slipping through my fingers, gone before I had the chance to make any real progress. That night, a few questions kept me awake. Why did my account never grow? How could people with paychecks like mine afford to buy homes, take vacations, or start investing, while I felt like I was treading water? That was the awakening I needed. I realized something fundamental. Money doesn't just vanish. Every dollar we earn is a decision. It moves from us to someone else, silently, every time we're not paying attention. If I couldn't control that flow, I'd always be stuck in the same place, working endlessly, with little to show for it. I knew something had to change, but change doesn't mean giving up everything you love. I started by reevaluating my daily choices, not by imposing harsh restrictions. For example, my daily coffee run. $5 a day doesn't seem much, but it added up to over $100 a month. Brewing coffee at home became not only a way to save, but a small ritual I enjoyed. I looked at food delivery too. I'd grown used to the ease of ordering in, but it was chipping away at my finances faster than I realized. So I set myself a challenge to cook more meals at home. At first it felt inconvenient, but I quickly discovered the pleasure of preparing my own food and the joy of seeing my savings grow. What I learned is crucial. Frugality doesn't mean suffering. It means making conscious choices about what truly matters. I wasn't denying myself all enjoyment. I was choosing what actually brought happiness and letting go of things that didn't. The purchases I missed least turned out to be the easiest money to save. But awareness alone isn't enough. I needed a system to track and guide my spending. I downloaded a simple budget app and started recording every single expense. Rent, groceries, the occasional snack or soft drink, nothing escaped my attention. It felt tedious for the first few weeks, but it soon became second nature. When I reviewed my spending after the first month, I was stunned. The little things, impulse buys, snacks, random coffees, made up a huge chunk of my outgoings. So I put a plan in place, the 50-30-20 rule. Half my income for necessities like food and rent. 30% for flexible spending, things I enjoy and want to buy. The remaining 20% went directly into savings and investments. I treated it like a non-negotiable expense, a tax I paid to my future self right at the start of every month. If I earned $5,000, I'd set aside $1,000 before spending a cent on anything else. Learning to live on what remained was challenging at first, but soon it felt natural and empowering. With a discipline plan in place, I realized that accumulating savings isn't just about what you retain, it's also about the mindset you build. I made it a point to invest in my own financial education. I began reading personal finance books like The Psychology of Money, and followed YouTube channels and podcasts focused on money management and basic investment strategies. This wasn't about becoming a Wall Street expert or memorizing stock charts. It was about understanding the fundamental principles. Building wealth is not about sudden windfalls. It's about patience, discipline, and continuous learning. As my knowledge grew, my fear of investing faded. After 6 months of reading and learning, I took my first small steps, starting to invest in index funds, mutual funds, and flexible savings accounts. I didn't start with huge amounts, but I invested consistently. The more I learned, the more confident I felt, and the less I wasted on thoughtless purchases. Fast forward 3 years. One morning, I reviewed my accounts and investments and saw the figure staring back at me. $100,000. I didn't achieve this with a huge salary or a lucky break, but by making small, deliberate choices every single day. The number on the screen filled me with gratitude and pride, but more importantly, with a sense of control over my future. The greatest thing I'd gained wasn't the money itself, but the peace of mind and self-respect that came from knowing I could rely on myself. What have I learned, and what can you take from this? First, it feels remarkable to be in charge of your own financial life. Every big achievement is the sum of small, everyday decisions. Second, you don't need to be rich to live well. You simply need to make your money work for you. Lastly, real wealth is having the freedom to choose your future. Saving isn't about scarcity or deprivation. It's about freedom, peace, and the ability to say yes to opportunities when they arise. If you are standing at the starting line today, where I was 3 years ago, don't lose heart, and don't feel you must be perfect from day one. Begin with one small step. Make a different choice. Open a savings account, or learn something new about money. Those little steps add up, and starting now makes tomorrow's possibilities endless. Thank you sincerely for spending your time with me and listening to my story. If you found any value or inspiration here, I hope you'll share this message with others on the same journey. Together we can encourage each other to live fuller, freer lives, one mindful choice at a time.